Morning.
Yes, it is. Are you able to jump in front of the document?
Yeah. Let me open it up.
The document is a living, breathing thing. We both will be in front of it doing the notes and stuff. Now I can see that you're in it. Note taking is important. If you see me writing, don't think, oh, gee whiz, I'm not going to write because Danny is. I prefer that you take the notes. First one here is in Lakewood. She will never sell, said the attendant. Okay, good. That new is important. Every morning I search new in all of my hundreds of documents. I want to see the addresses, check them against any history that I have. Then once we work on it together, there's going to be a date there. There might end up being, a dozen dates lined up, and it tells us pretty quickly that we've had a lot of experience with it. The phone number, it looks like you did this on both. You looked at Google and found numbers written somewhere on the Googlenator, and it's listed for a contact. Then what I want you to do is reverse it, and I see that you said no results found. If there's nothing solid, then that's all I want you to tell me. But
Right.
that's certainly a method. And then you called them and kind of verified that they are the right person. So very, very nicely done. I know that the original document has some spot for us to write, but I just put it right here. It's always going to be the same note, the date, and Danny dialed. Sounds like you're driving. Are you unable to take notes?
I'm about to pull over here in a minute.
Well, don't kill yourself. I'm going to call the number without further ado. Let's see what she says. You can mute your phone if there's going to be ambulances and dogs barking and things of that nature. Off we go.
Thank you.
She'll never sell.
Hello.
Carol.
Who's calling, please?
My name's Danny. I'm interested in leasing some space from you here in Lakewood. Your building.
I don't have anything. No, I don't have anything to lease, sir.
Danny, please. The building on Carr, you have a coin laundromat out there. It's my
Yes.
So if I'm right, Carol, you operate the laundry and own the building both?
Yes.
Good for you. My interest is in talking terms in reference to the laundry, if and when that time comes. It's a very nice laundry. You take good care of it. I've been in a few times. I'm looking to expand my empire. I have a few laundries in 3 states, and we do it this way. I'm going to call out, talk to the actual landlord in some cases. Like you, young lady, you're running it and own the dirt. Sometimes it's one or the other. But at the end of the day, you have to retool this store every so often. You and I can talk the same language. You know what it's like when a bearing job goes bad on a machine, as do I. And if you don't have my number, you don't know that we're out here looking, we might never get together on this.
Can you send me a letter?
I can send you a letter. I can send you an email.
No. I'm wondering. I got a letter. The person brought it to my home, put it on my door, that he is interested in buying laundromats. He's invested in other things, and he would like to be interested in buying mine. Well, Danny, right? Danny?
Yeah, that's me, but I didn't send any such letter. I wouldn't do any such thing.
That's okay.
Did you immediately call them on that number and find out what they wanted?
No.
I get letters like that all the time. I have quite a few properties. I've got land, residences. In fact, I don't even give my proper number out any longer because I get all those texts that say, hey, would you like to sell your property? It's maddening. But I think we all understand those are what they call farming letters. And this is not a farming call. I have literally walked the laundry. you know, you've got a lot of top loaders. You have beautiful frontage with all that glass, which is not so nice when it's hot out, but it's nice for the light, the reflecting all the light through the store. And, you know, I would just blow out all those single stack tumblers and put doubles in, but that's at my expense. And I don't know, if you love running the place and you're not in there pushing a broom every day, you should keep it forever. But if and when the time comes, yeah, to be clear, I'm not sending out farming letters. I prefer to make a phone call and talk to Carol about the realities of this.
Oh, okay.
I'm interested to know, though, did that look like a corporation or an individual that sent you that letter?
Handwritten.
Handwritten. Oh boy.
Handwritten, delivered to my home.
Brought it to the house?
Yes, it was placed on my door.
That's a little spooky, to be honest.
Well, it's easy enough if you, I don't know how much of this information is available, but if you look me up or look up the laundromat, probably my home address is right there with the laundromat. So one way or the other. So he brought me a letter. It was on the doorstep when I got home. So
yeah,
I will tell you honestly, and my dad always said, be honest. I am not looking to retire at this time.
Good. Well, I don't want you to retire.
Of course.
Like I say, the real tipping point, Carol, is how much work do you do and how much money are you earning? And that's your business. I'm not asking. But at some point, the work becomes a little more than the money is worth. And at that point, what I'm offering is the ability for you to keep the building, keep the dirt. I'm not buying real estate currently for what I believe is obvious reasons. And we step in, sign a long-term lease. I'll do a 15-year lease with you and your family and your investment trust. And then I'm going to spend a few $100,000 on equipment. I want to pull more consumers in. And I've done this quite a bit. I'm interested, that letter, what was the gist of it? Were they looking to buy the business or?
I think that's what he was looking for. Definitely he wanted the business, but I don't recall. I tend to scan these things, and I pretty much know what the answer is when I open it up anyway.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah. It said that he had several apartment buildings, and he was thinking that a next venture would be a good one would be Quinn Laundromats. So he was wondering if mine was available.
Zero experience. Sounds like a great tenant.
Well, I don't know.
To purchase the business, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think that's what he's looking for. So I don't know. I so far, knock wood, am fairly healthy and able to do what I do here. And if that should change, I don't have an email, but I do now have your phone number. If something changes radically, I will keep you in mind as to what you're offering. How's that?
I'll just put a lawn dart in your front window, since
right.
Apparently that's what people are doing. Yeah, that's a little disheartening to have a hand delivered letter, handwritten. Maybe
I'll tell you one.
What's that?
Here's one that's disheartening. I had COVID 3 years ago, and I have a customer who is in real estate, and when I was sick, brought me an offer to my home.
Oh.
Partially because while I was sick with COVID, this place was closed. And I guess he thought that, and I literally had to get out of bed to see who was at my door and what they wanted. And I was sick. So to be blunt, I haven't even opened the envelope he left on my doorstep. I was so angry.
Well, it might have.
I didn't even look to see what.
It might have sarin gas in it. Who knows?
Well, I'll never know because.
I can say that I'm not astounded by much, and at the end of the day, that's why I prefer to have a phone conversation. I want to talk about
Okay.
what it is that we do, how we do it. And to be crystal clear, I'm not looking to buy you out. I'm not looking to give you X amount of dollars for the business. Frankly, I'm after
Okay.
infrastructure. You know, it's there. But if and when you decide to step away from the business and remain the landlord, what you want is someone that has an incredible experience and knows, hey, I'm not going to try to run it with the top loaders, no offense. I'm going to blow out all that equipment, but I will have that leg up because I'm not building a laundromat from scratch, which I see as another recipe for disaster. I'm not going to walk around and put letters on people's doors thinking that, because I know that farming letters don't work. It doesn't work on me. It doesn't work on you. And apparently there are folks out there that are doing exactly that. Well, I hear you saying no email. I am, now let me ask, would you like me to send you a letter? I mean, I'm sure your address is out there. I'm not asking for it, but I could if you want me to. Not bring it to your door, but send you snail mail. So you have that physically there. Up to you.
Well, no, there's no need for that.
Okay.
If I
Yeah, I was a
place,
licensed PI for over a dozen years, and people would come to me in my private life and ask, "How do I hide?" I'm like, "Well, you can't. What do you need to hide for? What are you running from?" It was just a question around friends with cocktails, and that's often the question. How do you hide? Well, you can't. At the end of the day, I've got. You know what? I'll send a letter to the laundry address. I'm sure you get mail there. And this is my cell phone number. It's the only number you need, Danny D'Angelo, and I'll save your number as well. So I've had the same number for 30 years. If you reach out, let us know. Again, the moment you have that tinge in the back of your head, geez, you know, this isn't really worth the effort, give me a call. We'll talk about it.
I certainly will keep it in mind. How's that?
Thank you, Carol. Appreciate it a lot.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, there's a lot to talk about, Andres, and one of these things is the fact that there's no way to stop you from thinking, because this is the first call that we have ever made. There's no way to stop you from thinking that every time we make a call, the landlord's going to answer and we're going to have a lovely discussion. I just want to temper your expectations and tell you that that's rare, okay? Most of these folks, be it a real estate agent, a third party, a management company, the landlord or landlady themselves, they can't be bothered to answer their telephones. So again, we're going to make another call here in a minute, but I love it when we actually get to talk with someone. Now, the next question is, what did you think of that call?
So a lot of the folks that were, you know, the attendant, the neighboring business, you know, all kind of said the same thing, that, you know, she's never going to sell. She's never going to sell. And it seemed like she was open to at least having a dialogue with you. And she,
but we're not buying. That's the thing. And the other thing is that the neighbors don't know her or her disposition. She's, I don't want to say elderly, but she's up there in years. She said it herself. We can find clues and tidbits, right? I don't have email. She didn't say, I'm not going to give you my email. I don't have it. But when you talked to those people, was that pre-Danny? Was that before you saw my silly course?
Right.
Okay.
That was pre-Danny.
So did you say, I want to buy that laundromat? Is that what you said?
I sure did.
Where did you get the idea, the concept? And what the folks at home don't know is I was typing here. I was wondering if you did not send a letter. You didn't, I should say, hand deliver a letter. That was not you.
No,
okay.
I did not do that. Negative.
And we'll get to that. So what was you were talking to neighbors full steam ahead. I want to buy this laundromat. Hopefully they can do seller financing or something of that nature. Where'd you get that idea? Where did you get that idea?
That was exactly. Yeah, I mean, there's another, you know, call it YouTube person out there doing their own videos, and one of the things that they talk about is that particular strategy, which again, as I mentioned on our last week, I didn't even know that could be done. And the offer I got with, the Colorado Springs folks, which are the folks that I shared that with you last week, was kind of what I was hoping to structure here, something a little bit closer to me. And when I learned that she was the landlord slash operator, I was intrigued because it felt like one of those situations where she may not want to be that operator. She wants to be a landlord. So I was going to see how we could possibly structure a deal. But to your point, this is that was all with the idea of purchasing a business, purchasing this laundromat, not with the intention of signing a long-term lease. After seeing your course, that's when I pumped the brakes on the Springs transaction. I pumped the brakes on pursuing this and even engaging with Carol. And what I did was I just vetted the number that I found, and I held the line until I was able to get you on board. And the first two that we did last week were completely against what you teach, and everything moving forward, you'll see that it's in line with your strategy, your process.
Well, I'm not here to cheerlead for any one strategy or process. All of these buzzwords that people use. I mean, here we have, and let's get to the next thing. Let me back up. You didn't send the letter. We got that. Did you ever speak with her, or you found me once you decided to go this route, and then you didn't call or speak to Carol?
Once I decided to hire you, I called the number that I found to vet it. That was it.
Okay.
But prior to that, the only folks I ever spoke to were the attendant and the neighboring business.
You got it. Okay. So you vetted the number, meaning you dialed it. Number one, it rings. Number two, and it's nice when you're pretty sure that Carol is the landlord, and you might even get a voicemail, and it's, "Hello, this is Carol. Leave a message. Beep." All right. Good enough for me, considering the source. How did you find the number? Why do you think it's her? And then we verify the name. It's not some dude, or it's not this dreaded, "You have reached 555-1215. It's not that. Good enough. But if they do answer, there's a myriad of stories you can tell. You're not going to hell because you're not leading her down some primrose path. You're talking about a food truck or striping their parking lot at a great price or whatever it is, so that, and you have to offer them something good, because what you don't want is them to say, "No, thank you." I have clients that reach out and they say, "Oh, I vetted the number. I called it," and they're the landlord. I'm like, "What'd they say?" If someone says no thank you and slams the phone down, for the love of God, that is not verifying. So let's get to the next thing. You're saying that there's some guru out there saying to deliver a handwritten letter asking to buy the business to the person's residence? Wow. That doesn't, how is that ever going to work? On what planet will that work? I'd be locking my doors.
Yeah, and I apologize if that's what you heard me say, but that's not.
No. She said it. She said it.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Sorry, missed that part.
No, I know it's not you that did this, but there are folks out there that, dude, suddenly laundromats are in vogue, and the entire universe is pushing this narrative. Go out, whatever you need to do to find the operator and offer them a purchase price, and they will step up and do seller financing. Okay, great. Is Carol happy with her? And we're talking about operators, not landlords. Is Carol happy with this business? Yeah, she's happy, which means she's making X amount of dollars. You said you went in and spoke to an attendant, right? So she has employees, not her. She has people in there.
Correct. Right.
Imagine if Carol was savvy enough to just go run to YouTube and say, "You know what? I want to make my goddamn laundromat better," and started typing out things. She'd probably find some people who could tell her what to do. Would she do it? Probably not, right? We're set in our ways. We think we know better. That wouldn't work in Colorado, etc., etc., etc. And I'm speaking from experience. But then you've got these other folks that say, look, I talked to a guy that gave someone $10,000, and this guru basically gives you a letter and says, go hand this letter out to operators. He said he gave the letter to 100 operators. You know how much response he got?
You might claim 1.
0. Do you own property? Do you own anything? Do you vote? If you do any of that, you get texts, right? You get emails, you get snail mail. You remember the first time you ever opened a letter because you thought it was handwritten? Your address was handwritten. Remember that? You tear it open, you're like, oh, who the hell is this from? Looks like junk mail, but it's handwritten. And then you realize it was written by a computer.
Yep.
That is a farming letter. It's being sent to your neighbors. It's being sent to everyone in the whole county, in the whole universe. They got you once. Oh, look at this. Is this my aunt from Temecula that's sending me some money for Christmas? You rip it open. Oh. Dear Andres, we're interested in buying your property. Fool me once.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, what the Danny do? No, do I call up and pound this lady into the sand and tell her, you better give me this business? Of course not. We make a nice, amicable introduction. We have a conversation. And I asked her, hey, you want me to send a letter to your house? Well, do the thing that the creep did, only ask permission. And you could go find her address. I don't want you to. I'm sure it's, like she said, it's out there. But a letter without a stamp on your doorstep, ooh, that is weird. FedEx can come to your door, UPS. Jeff Bezos himself can come up and put something under your mat, and it doesn't bother you. Postal workers, etc. People delivering food. But when some freakazoid goes up to your door, he had the address, weird. Probably pounded on the door, weird. I'm just saying. And then, how much of that, did you hear what she said? I kind of talked over her, but I said, yeah, I have some experience. She said, it sounds like it. Did you hear her say that?
Yeah.
The guy pounding on the door with open-toed Crocs with a bloody toe probably wouldn't fare so well. I don't know that I would fare well. People might not like the way that I look or the silly t-shirt that I wear or whatever the case may be. So what do? Put on a 3-piece suit, gold Rolex, and go up and knock on the door? Then I'm wondering, is this guy for real? Why does he have the time or the inclination to knock on my... It's just weird. And I've heard about this, and I'm hearing it said, and now here we come across a woman that can... I mean, where else in the known universe are you going to hear some guru say, go put a handwritten letter on the door of the landlord/operator? Probably didn't even know she was the landlord. And that's a great idea. And now we, one-on-one, hear that landlady say, oh, yeah, that's not good. And I had COVID, and she's talking about COVID and getting sick and whatever else, and they delivered an envelope and blah, blah, blah. So what do we do with this store? Let me hear if you are a true Danny disciple. What do we do now?
Keep a close eye on that bad boy. Close physical eye.
Hey, look at you. Those are my words. Danny's on your shoulder. Keep a close physical eye on it, because we can't rely on Carol reaching back out to us. I'm sure she will. And you know what else? Set your calendar for 6 months. This might end up being your second free store. 6 months from now, I want to call her, check in with her, ask her how she's doing, laugh about it. And then, of course, I said, I know you're pulled over on the side of the road or whatever, but you've got to be in there. I'm doing work. I don't want to be typing. I don't want her to hear me typing. So try to take the notes. And everything I do is not on the YouTubeinator. It's not always 1% of what I do ends up on the computer. So don't think, again, a lot of new clients do, oh, everything's going to be on a YouTube video, so I don't have to take notes. Even though it is. All right, we're going across town, and we are looking this for the first time ever. You found this. Is this a dude?
Yeah.
First name Stacy, Mr.
Negative.
That's his last name.
Yeah.
All right, weird name. But you're saying it's a cell phone number, and you found it same way, kind of an old picture from Google Maps, and you also found it in some permits and things like that. So nicely done. Now, a picture's worth 1,000 words. My God, another store with stainless tables that they look nice, but they have no edges. Try to put a clean, dry sock on there and watch what happens. Zing, it flies off as though you're playing skee ball. And the reason, static electricity, it doesn't work. And they're buying expensive tables that don't work for laundry. Now, beyond that, those old salmon-colored single-stack tumblers, wow. But the store's not horrible. It's not the worst I've seen. The ceiling isn't falling down. The lights appear to be working. They spent some money on bulbs. But tons of top loaders, tons of single-stack tumblers. And we are going to call this gentleman and see what we can see. What more do we know? Did you call the number?
Yes. I spoke with him, asking, because the sign that I found on Google Maps was a sign for lease. So I posed that, I was looking to lease a space for a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym. And
smart. Talk about what you know in case
he
says, oh, I'm an accountant, and you said that you're an accountant and that you want to put in an accounting firm, and then all of a sudden you're talking about, yes, last year's EBITDA, and you don't know what you're talking about. So good, something that you know. Jiu-jitsu his ass, easy for me to say. All right, so we know he's the right guy, and the number's good.
Yeah, right.
He said, what? I'm full up?
Yeah, oh, correct. He doesn't have any space. That must be an old sign that he had on the building. He needs to take that down. And then I said, all right, well, hey, if you have any other places or any other properties that you would recommend.
Lovely.
No, not right now. I'm all.
Good way to vet the number. And the reason we don't mention the laundromat is because then all of a sudden there's blood in the water, like with the last gal, where that was not us. So you can say, interesting that some fruitcake came to your house and touched your door. Not really the way business is done, not even if you're old school. All right, let's call this dude and see what's what. Do you think he is also the operator of the store as well?
I don't believe so, because I walked in to, wash my laundry, and it was a female who assisted. So I don't think they are.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
Well,
that
I
could
just
be
don't think that she's
his hired attendant, or if she acts and throws her weight around like an operator, it could be his wife. It could be his niece. There's no. I'm just saying, no way of telling. And I don't call up and say, hey, this place is a piece of shit. Give it to us, and it won't be, because if it is his, there's personality involved. All right, here we go. Stand by.
Yeah.
Now's where you louts have subscribed already, and you thumb up. Thumb up! Subscribe. I don't know. Do one. There's no way two people are going to answer.
Yes, this is Stacy. Teller. Leave a message after the tone.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages. Goodbye.
All right, first of all, you're wrong. It is a dude with the first name Stacy. Wah, wah. When I Googled the phone number, that's the way that I read it, and so correct. We are going to change this from now on, and it's going to say Mr. Stacy, blah, blah, last name so that we know, and that's how I will put it in my phone. FYI, every time I make a call, the young lady we spoke with and the gentleman that we didn't, I put the number into my phone. I link it back to you. This goes for every client. I have thousands of numbers in my phone. And what we're going to do on the notes, quote, what he said. This is, he didn't say Mr., but you get it. He used his first and last name. Leave a message. Did you hear the last part? I don't think you did.
No.
The mailbox is full. Why do I laugh? Because trying to get in touch with these people and do this thing, whether they're a realtor in New York City or a gentleman that owns a tiny strip mall in suburban Colorado, we are doing outside the box things. He is not trying to sell newspapers on the street corner. He doesn't work at Walmart. He's not easy to get in touch with. That's commonplace. So you've got a 50-50, you're batting 500, good for you. We talked to her. That goes at the bottom of the list. We call her in 6 months unless you see a physical change. Dude, if even it's something small like more equipment starts to go out of order, the place is dirty all of a sudden overnight, they're not cleaning the glass, and they're not giving it the college try, we'll call. And we'll very politely say, is everything all right? I hope it is. Hey, let's hand us, maybe she does get ill, God forbid. We don't want that to happen. We're not here to bounce people out of their stores, whether they're the landlord agent or the landlord operator or neither. So I cannot leave this due day message. There's not much else I can do. Keep looking, find more stores. Numbers will be saved in my phone. You have 11 seconds to say what you want to say.
Thank you, Danny.
You're
Appreciate
welcome,
all your
buddy.
help.
We'll get it. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Ciao.
Bye.
That was good. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are well. Let's get to your chat, as this is a live thing. Morning, Danny. Says Luxury Auto Aesthetics. If your name is Luxury Auto Aesthetics, please let me know what your real name is. I appreciate talking to humans and knowing who the human is. Danny, I just finished the course, says Quisay. It's an amazing knowledge. I am currently abroad, and it irks me not to be able to scout and scour laundromats physically if there's a way I can find help. No. No one is going to go scout laundromats for you, buddy. Cool your jets, relax. I am so often turned into this counselor, which I am not. Counseling people on their feelings, which I do not do. Chill. Enjoy your abroadness. Any of you have the same experience? Any advice? Yeah, man, get your cousin to go scout. You mean scout in the area you live? I guess not much you can do until you get back home. Thank you. Now everybody's talking amongst themselves. I don't blame you. I don't have any experience, nor do I have the course. So why are you commenting? He says thank you. I guess I have to find a way. When you get back to wherever it is that you want to own stores, scout. There is no way. For those of us who've served overseas in the military, sometimes you want to do a thing. Kiss your girlfriend, see your baby, work on that old 57 Chevy. The thoughts become overwhelming because you are in a place where you can't do any of the normal stuff. You know what the reality is? When you get back home, nothing's changed. When you know, you know. Oh, and here we go again with Neverine. I guess you could look on Google Maps. Can you two stop talking about this to each other, please? Believe it or not, I was walking Google Street View block by block on potential stores. It's like people that tell me, I have a bunch of really negative reviews on this laundromat, so I know it's going to be ripe for takeover. Who's going to sit down and give a positive review on a laundromat other than the operator? All this is discussed in my course, which she doesn't know anything about. I don't care if you get it, but stop commenting on videos while I'm busy doing real work. Andrew is not Navarine, whoever that is. Hi, Andrew. Willie's excited because he made it to Alive. He found a new location to add. Give the landlord a call. Danny, text me, Willie. Melissa, morning, Lieutenant Dan. I am not Lieutenant Dan. Appreciate the content as always. Can you please clarify for me with the base rent and triple net? Should we look for the two combined to be around $1? No, that's not going to happen. Base rent's $1. David here. Enjoy the content. Well, thanks, David. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. Does anyone have any experience with whomever it is that wants you to go put a handwritten letter on a laundromat operator's door and thinks that's a good idea? Does anyone know? I mean, the desperation. If you don't think that that makes a damn bit of sense, neither would that individual who's running that business. Are people truly so desperate, willing to try? And there's an entire, I should say, our camp is over here doing this, and the entire other universe is out there doing it their way, the wrong way. Oh yeah, I'll sell the business for $300,000. I'll do seller finance. Sure, let me call you back, buddy, from your handwritten note. If you look at a handwritten note, when I would get resumes for laundromat attendants, when they were handwritten, what did you think? Did you think they were being clever or kind or using a puffy pen? What would you think? I'll wait. What would you think of that letter? Help me out. Come on, you guys are here on the chat live. I have no patience. You don't think it's kitschy or adorable, or that they've gone out of their way? Maybe write the address by hand. It makes you think that this person doesn't own a computer. Pretentious. No, they don't. Someone dropping off a resume at a laundromat that wants to work there, and it's all handwritten with blue puffy ink. You don't think they're pretentious. You think they don't even own a computer. They are unable, not unwilling, they're unable. And there's two ways to think. I admit, maybe you think, oh, that's really, you're a go-getter. Why can't you talk to me, I would say. I did see it somewhere, I can't recall who it was. Guys, when you are looking at proliferating the laundry business, owning laundries, getting into laundries, you're going to be bombarded by this new, we need to come up with terms for these. I know I need to coin the phrases for these people, these new generations of laundry gurus. Hey, I own, the one who does the letter writing campaign, I'm pretty sure I know who it is, doesn't own a single laundromat. But she's going to teach you how to do it. Their theory was it would create a personal connection. Yeah, creepy. A creepy personal connection. Danny, will you ever write a book on business ownership? Learning a lot more. Print is dead, bro. So, no. Sounds like 1950s marketing. Correct. I got lots of shit to do. What was the dangling participle? What were we waiting on? Something. If you want to end up owning laundromats, I have this very opinionated concept, methodology. Is it that? Is it a concept? Is it a method? Is it a system? Or is it working again and again and again? Earning me tens of millions of dollars, earning even clients of mine tens of millions of dollars. Now I have clients coming back who went through me to sign a lease. I made the telephone calls a decade ago or more. Dropping back, hey, let's renegotiate this lease. 2, 3, 4 stores in. When will you start? Don't answer in the chat. If you are like Andrew, Andrew's going to become a laundry guru too. You don't have to have a laundromat. I know that the people out there that are guruing have all seen my course. But you have to take a different tact. This pisses me off. I don't know if you can tell. Did you put this letter on my door, she says? No, I didn't. Nor would I. Nor am I a fool. And then she says what? Good. I'm glad it wasn't you. I'm glad it wasn't my client. Because it's creepy. That's the goal. That's going to be what we talk about in the comment section on this video. Creepy letter writing campaigns. Make a comment, not here in the top chat. As soon as I burn this down, go to the comments and tell me a joke. Tell me about a creepy letter. Make an anecdote, at least 3 lines of cream. Laundromats are fantastic, phenomenal businesses. They will create generational wealth for you and your family as long as you do it properly. Join us.